Welcome back inside Dave Campbell's Texas football tonight. And Greg, you know, last week got into a fantasy football league, did some drafting. Noticed the running backs don't go as high as maybe they used to, but I don't know. I'm still a fan of a really good running back, and I think you've got a list of some pretty good ones here in the state of Texas.
Well, you know, it's time for this week's Cruton Corner.
Yeah,
I'm
there we
biased,
go.
but this is my favorite segment on the show.
Oh.
Why? Usually because I'm in it, first and foremost. But if you're doing a fantasy football draft around Texas high school football, running backs are going to go much higher. And at the top of that list in the state this year, you have Taylor Tatum, Longview running back who's committed to the University of Oklahoma. Taylor Tatum holds the record for most touchdowns in a season at Longview. Longview, one of the most historic programs in Texas high school football. He was the Offensive District Player of the Year, THSCA Super Elite. He's a guy that brings a little bit of everything to the table, and he had a wealth of offers at the time that he made his decision to commit to Oklahoma. And I think that he's going to fit into that Jeff Levy offense really well. As a matter of fact, he's more of a ground and pound type of guy, likes to get tough yards in the middle of the field, and he likes to be able to, after he gets through that initial contact, burst to the outside to pick up huge chunks of yardage. I also think that he's going to progress as a pass catcher once he arrives in Norman and gets ingratiated into that offensive scheme. At number 2 on the list, you're going to see Kaden Durham from Duncanville. Kaden Durham is a guy who led Duncanville to a state championship, gave Reginald Samples that elusive state championship ring last year. He also hoisted the trophy for being the offensive MVP in that game. 279 rushing attempts throughout his career, 2,609 yards, 43 touchdowns. You can see the graphic here. But what I love about Kaden Durham is his 4.25 40-yard dash speed. He's a 10.25 100-meter guy, so that speed is legit. He's one of the fastest guys in the entire country, not only in the state of Texas. We're going to look further down the list. You got James Peoples at number 3, committed to Ohio State. Number 4, you're going to see like your first big bruiser on the list. That's Kedron Young from Lufkin. He's going up to Notre Dame to play his college football. He's a guy that would really rather run over you than run around you. And Jacoby Williams from East Texas. He's a very quick athlete for Beckville in East Texas who's committed to Texas Tech. I like his future as a running back within that Red Raiders offensive scheme.
Well, it's always good to hear, a mention of Notre Dame, and they get a nice running back there. But one of the guys that stood out was number 8 on that list, Nate Palmer. You were talking about the top guy, Taylor Tatum, hoping that he kind of evolves as a pass catcher. It looks like Palmer already has a little bit of that in his game. I believe a TCU commit as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Nate Palmer was a guy that you guys got to cover a lot here on week 1. Texas football tonight as Decatur picked up a big week 1 victory. Palmer's a guy who I really like, and I think as you're looking at that top 10 list, he's probably a name that sometimes is overlooked that shouldn't be. He's as good as any player on the list.